What's going on, everyone? Back with another video, and in today's video I'm just going to go over my stock portfolio and how to get started with investing. The app that I use for my investments, or most of my investments, is Charles Schwab. In the previous video I was using Cash App. Cash App is a great app to get started with investing. A lot of people already have it already downloaded on their phone, so Cash App is a great app to use for beginners. But for me, I personally use Charles Schwab for most of my investments. I like Charles Schwab overall as a brokerage, and Charles Schwab just recently added fractional shares, so you can buy stocks and ETFs with as little as $1 using Charles Schwab. Before, you could only buy fractional shares with stocks that's in the S&P 500 through Charles Schwab, but now you can buy any stock, any ETF with as little as $1. And so I use Charles Schwab for most of my investments. I like using Charles Schwab. It is a little more advanced compared to Cash App, but you know, you can use both, and whatever you feel like you like more, you know, that's where you can go with. But right now I'm going to go and use the Charles Schwab app to demonstrate in this video. And so if we open up my investment account right now, my investment account is currently valued at $29,001.87. A quick background about my investment journey is that I wasn't taught investing. Nobody showed me how to get started with investing. And so I pretty much learned everything on my own just by watching videos and, you know, reading books and searching things online. And so as I learned, I made a lot of mistakes, trial and error. But as I made those mistakes, I learned from those mistakes, and I was able to make better and sound investment decisions as I got further along my investment journey. And so, which led me here today at my account being valued at $29,001.87. If we look at the performance of the account for the last month, it went up $679.10. In the last 3 months, it went up to $4,130.46. The last 6 months, it went to $3,034.64, and year to date, it's at $2,662.23. But here's the power of investing, because I've been investing for, you know, since 2019, and if we look at my account for the last year, it went up $11,106.67, which is a 62% return on my investment. And then it says max at the bottom, but it's pretty much showing the 2-year return on my investment, which is $18,518.95. So I grew my investment portfolio in 2 years by $18,518.95. Now, I'm not no investing expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm pretty much sharing my journey and what I've done to get my investment portfolio where it is today, and hopefully you can use some of the things that I've done into your investment strategy. And so one of the things that I've done was pretty much be consistent. Every time I got paid, I pretty much put money into my investment account. When I first started off investing, I only put a little bit of money into the account. I put like $10 in there, here and there, and then I increased it to $20, and then I increased it to $30. And then over time, as I started to make more money and as I started to see my investment grow, I put even more money in there. You know, I'll put like $100 in there. And so right now I'm at a point to where every time I get paid, I put 15% of my paycheck into my investment account. And I put 15% of my paycheck into this investment account. And as I've been doing that over time, over the years, it just grew in value, and it got to where it is right now. So for those that's wondering how I got my investment portfolio at this amount, it's because I've been consistent, and it's because I've been putting money into this account on a consistent basis pretty much every time I get paid. And this is pretty much the power of investing, because a lot of people have their money sitting inside of a savings account, and their savings account really isn't giving them any money back. Most savings accounts, or I don't want to say most, but you could say mostly like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase. Like if you look at their savings account and the interest that they pay on that account, they pretty much give back 0.01% interest on that savings account. But with an investment account like this right here, like the one that I have, I've been investing for since 2019, but this is only showing the last 2 years. But in the last 2 years, I got 176% return on my investment. So would you rather have 0.01% of your money, or would you rather have your money grow in value by 176%? Me personally, I'll take the 176% increase on my money. So that's pretty much the power of investing. I hope this motivates people, encourages people to look into investing, to get started with investing. And so for those that's interested to know the stocks that I'm investing in, I'm going to go over that real quick. My account here, I have I pretty much got 4 accounts. One of them is a Roth IRA, which is my retirement account. The next one is an individual brokerage account where I hold my stocks in. And then the next one is a trading account where I'll trade stocks. And then this is a checking account where I pretty much would take 15% of my paycheck and put it into this account. And then from there, I'll use that to buy stocks. And so if we click on the individual brokerage account, hold on. Technical difficulties. Alright, y'all, we're back. So my individual brokerage account, if we click on that, this is what's going to come up. This is what's going to come up on the individual brokerage account. And this is pretty much all the stocks that I'm investing in. So if we look at the very top, I'm actually down in this account currently, but it's only a matter of time before it starts skyrocketing, because I'm gonna put y'all on game real quick, so just bear with me. So the first stock that I have now, when I go over these stocks, please do not buy stocks that I have, or do not invest into the same stocks that I'm investing in, because you got to do your own research. You got to really know what you're investing in. You got to know what you're doing. But I'll go more over how to evaluate stocks. But I just want y'all to know that some of these investments that I have is risky. Not all of them are risky. Some of them are. But please do not invest into stocks, the same stocks that I'm investing in, just because I'm investing in it. But this is the stocks that I have in my portfolio. The first stock that I have is Archer Aviation. I currently have 20 shares of Archer Aviation. I'm down $16.40. The next stock that I have is a well-known company that people know, and that's Amazon. I have 10 shares of Amazon, pretty much the value of my investment in Amazon is $2,499.65, and I'm up on this investment by 16%, which is $354. I plan on holding on to Amazon for a very long time. Amazon is a great company, well known, well established, not going anywhere anytime soon. So the next one I have is ASML. For those that don't know what ASML is, it is a company that pretty much makes the machines to make semiconductors. With the rise of AI, we know AI is going to be pretty big down the long term, in the long run. Everything is moving towards artificial intelligence, and you need semiconductors to power AI, and this company pretty much makes the machines to power AI. Without this company, there's, semiconductors pretty much gonna have a hard time of being made. So this company is pretty much important, and I only have $151 in this stock. This stock is pretty pricey. This stock is currently trading at $1,929. I want to buy more shares of this stock, but I feel like this stock is a little overvalued, so I'm not going to buy a lot of this right now. I'll probably wait for it to drop in price in order for me to buy more. But the next stock that I have is Cameco, ticker symbol CCJ. I only have 3 shares of Cameco. I'm up 25% on my investment with Cameco, which is $65.12. Cameco, for those that don't know or understand, but this company pretty much mines uranium. I feel like this stock is going to be pretty much big and give off really good returns down the road, because there's going to be a very high demand in uranium. And so the next stock that I have is Coinbase. Now, I'm a big fan of Coinbase. I also use Coinbase. I have a Coinbase account where I put money into cryptocurrency. Coinbase also lets you buy stocks as well. So if you're looking for a platform to buy stocks, the first platform I mentioned was Cash App. The next one that I use is Charles Schwab. And another platform you can use to buy stocks is Coinbase. There's a lot of platforms to buy stocks, but I use Charles Schwab and I also use Coinbase for stocks as well. But I use Coinbase mostly for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange, and so you can buy, sell, trade cryptocurrency on Coinbase. And this company here is, in my opinion, going to be pretty big as cryptocurrency continues to rise and value, and as more people get to know more about cryptocurrency. And so the next stock, and I'm actually down on Coinbase. I'm down 5%, which is $10.16. But Coinbase, I want to buy more Coinbase, but I'm not looking to buy more Coinbase right now. But the next stock that I have is IONQ. This is a quantum computing company. They deal with quantum computing. I only have 2 shares of this. I'm down $2.20, not a lot, but this is another stock I feel like it's going to be really big and give off big returns down the road. This stock is risky, so be careful with investing into this. Make sure you do your research. The next stock I have is Meta Platforms, also known as Facebook. I have 2 shares of Meta Platforms valued at $1,154.44. I'm down in my position. I'm down $73.39, but Meta Platforms is a stock that I plan on buying more of. They're trading at $574.88. I want to buy more of Meta Platforms because they are undervalued, and so I'm gonna, when I get paid, I'm gonna make sure I buy more of that, and by me buying more, it's gonna bring my cost down. Now, Microsoft is the next stock that I have on the list. I have 8 shares of Microsoft valued at $3,042.26. I'm down in this position as well. This is actually the biggest position in my portfolio. This is where I have most of my money invested. I'm down $653.36. Now, a lot of people that's new to investing will look at this and be like, they will have a heart attack being down this amount. They would sell the stock, they'll get scared, they'll get worried, but I'm looking at this as an opportunity, as a buying opportunity, because I've learned through my journey of investing that when you're down like this, you want to keep buying more of it. especially with Microsoft, because Microsoft is a great business. It's a great company. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. If you look it up, Microsoft is actually one of the largest companies in the U.S. and they have a great business. And I looked at their financials, and their financials is just amazing. So this is a great opportunity to buy Microsoft. Now, I said in the beginning, do not buy stocks that I'm investing in, but I'm not a financial advisor. But if I had to recommend a stock, I would recommend Microsoft. Microsoft right now is trading at $379 at the time of this video. So I want y'all to remember this: $379.13 at the time of this video. So I want y'all to keep track of that, because as time passes, we're gonna see where the value of this stock gonna be at. So that's just my thoughts, my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor though. But the next stock I have on the list is Tempest AI. I have 5 shares of Tempest AI. I'm up in this position. I'm up 15%. $34.80 is what I'm up on. This company has a lot of room to grow. It's very young, new, up and coming. They, like I said, a healthcare company, and they're pretty much implementing a lot of technology into the healthcare space. I really like this company. It is risky though, but I'm willing to take that risk. Now, the next stock I have is Vistra. I have 2 shares of Vistra. I'm also up on this position, 14%. I'm up $42.14. This is a nuclear energy company. They pretty much make electricity and nuclear energy. And with the rise of AI and data centers, this company has the potential to really benefit from it. They pretty much got contracts and deals with Microsoft, Meta Platforms, and Amazon as well. And so Vistra has a lot of room to grow potential. And so I personally feel like this is a good investment for me. I personally want to buy more of it as I get paid. This one, I feel like it's trading at a lower price compared to where it once was. And so this is a good investment in my opinion. And then I have ETFs at the bottom. I have 3 ETFs, and the first ETF I have is Round Hill Memory ETF. I only have 1 share of that. I'm actually up. This ETF, I'm up 50% on my money. I only brought 1 share of this, and I'm up 50%, which is $25.67. Now, $25 isn't a whole lot of money, but if I would have put more money in there, if I put $1,000 in there, I'll be up like $500. So that's the power of investing right there. So I'm up 50%. I plan on buying more of this one because as AI, as artificial intelligence and technology advances, memory is going to be very big, and the demand for memory is going to be pretty huge. And then also I have another ETF. It's called IDGT. I only have $50 invested into this account. I'm up $2.69. And then the last ETF that I have is SPMO. This is a S&P 500 ETF. Pretty much invest into the top companies that have the momentum going up in value. And so I only have 3 shares of this, which I'm up 10% for $45.87. And this is pretty much my investment portfolio. And for those that are wondering what is an ETF is basically a group of stocks all into one. So if you look at all these stocks that I have, Archer, Amazon, ASML, CJ or Cameco, Coinbase, if you look at all these stocks that I have, an ETF is basically all those into one. So an ETF pretty much is a basket of stocks. You're pretty much investing into a group of stocks and all in one, if that makes sense. So if you look at SPMO, S&P 500 ETF, this ETF pretty much invests into the top 500 companies in the United States, but it specifically targets the ones that's growing in value rapidly. So instead of investing into one stock, here you're investing into 500 stocks through this one ETF. And so that's the power of investing into ETFs. ETFs are pretty much less riskier. It's more safer investment, more safer of an investment. So for those that's getting started with investing, an ETF may be a good option to pretty much get your feet wet, to really understand how the investing game works. And now, I'm not a financial advisor, and I did say don't invest into stocks that I'm investing in, but if I had to recommend one or two, I would recommend SPMO and Microsoft. Now, those would be my recommendations. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're looking to invest or get started with investing, Microsoft and SPMO is a great way to get started. Great companies. Microsoft is a great company, great business. Everybody knows Microsoft. It ain't going nowhere. They have multiple streams of income coming in all different directions. They own Xbox. They own Windows. They own Bing. They have a lot of assets and money coming in to the business. And I looked at their financials. They got a nice balance sheet and really good financials. So but that's pretty much my investment portfolio. This is pretty much the investing app that I'm using to invest. It may seem a little complicated, but I'm gonna go more over it to make it simple and easy for people to understand, especially for those that's beginning. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you liked the video. I hope this video motivates everyone to invest and to save and to use money wisely, and share this video with people that may benefit from it, people that may need to know and understand this. And so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.